And we are back. It's your man Odell, aka ArtByOdell, and we are joined by our special guest. Let me give introduction. Our guest hails from, how you pronounce it?
Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
Perth Amboy, New Jersey.
AKA Ambush.
Okay. Now, definitely a resident here in Atlanta, Georgia. He is a self-taught artist who doesn't limit his concepts to any kind of particular medium, whether it be oil painting, whether it be acrylic, whether it be color pencil, digital medium, watercolor. He covers it all. An artist that definitely hustles by collaborating as well, from whether it be fashion show events to openings to also doing children's books. And the brother is definitely covers all gamuts. So listen, please help join me welcome our guest, who will actually, every time that I post a portrait on my Instagram, spends time and energy creating all kind of jokes,
Just getting
and comments.
At 'em. I'm sorry, I got to do it.
About me. We got our man CP, the artist, in the house. How you doing, CP?
Nice to meet you again, my brother.
It's good to have you, man.
See, people don't understand our relationship, that we could, bust on each other.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
With ease.
Oh yeah. But if you don't know, if you ever go to my Instagram,
I'm always busting on them.
Always.
You're an easy target, man. He puts his debonair chocolate self on the
man.
there, and I gotta give him a little
So
2 cents.
it's very funny. But yeah, it's funny though, because he'll every time I post the photographs like that, he'll have these.
Don't tell him about the inside jokes, because they ain't gonna get it.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But,
just check it out. Just check it out. But anyway, brother, I'm glad to have you here. Perth Amboy. So technically, even though it's New Jersey, isn't it part of Metro Atlanta, New York metropolitan area?
Yeah. We're right across the bridge from Staten Island. 75 minutes. 17 miles away from Manhattan.
Okay.
So it was like.
Yeah, so how did that shape you, man? So you had a little bit of both, man.
It's my core. It's like that's the only reasonable place I claim, because it's like it's my nationality. Jersey is my nationality. No, I grew up with a bunch of Puerto Ricans, blacks, Dominicans.
Yeah.
Very big mixture of people.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, growing up there, self-taught artist. That always intrigues me, because myself, right, someone who has a BFA, Bachelor of Fine Arts, Visual Arts, and at the same time, right, like I think that a lot of people who are more self-taught artists
are better. Are you going to say that?
I
Are
won't say-
better
I won't
than your achievements?
I will.
Piece of paper?
I didn't. I
Is
will
that what you're gonna say?
I will say better. I will say
messing
that
with
sometimes they. This
I'm
guy,
messing
right?
with
I know. But just their approach, right? Because anytime you're in a classroom setting with different things,
Yeah.
sometimes you have a
Structure.
scope. Yeah, structure.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, even the same thing with me,
box.
as I've ventured into media, right? Like, I didn't really go to school for communications.
Right.
So I think
You just communicated.
I just communicated. So,
Right,
but
yeah.
but I did learn a lot of things being in the classroom. A lot of learning things about principles and art theory and things like that. What would you say by being a self-taught artist? Because I guess you could move your own pace. But what was the most challenging thing about that?
The challenging thing is not knowing when you suck. And the thing is like when you're in a classroom environment, at least you have like some type of structure where it's like, people can help you out with the basics.
Right.
I did, even though I was self-taught, I did have mentors like Charlton Palmer. I had great peers like Fabian Williams, also Maya
brothers.
Bailey. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was like more of a iron sharpens iron. And I remember trying to go into college, and I went one semester at an art college here in Atlanta.
Okay.
And it was easy, because it was like I was so already taught from my peers and everything like that.
You already
that
engulfed
it was
in
like,
it.
it
You
was
weren't
like,
waiting for the professor to tell you.
and I was like, what am I paying for? What am I paying for if you're not pushing me? If I'm not learning anything new? I do believe that there's an importance for school, but I do believe that hard work and dedication will get you mostly further than school will.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Anytime you get started.
Yeah, but what I'm seeing is like people, they feel like they're able to pick up a pen or paintbrush, whatever, and start a painting and think, oh, I'm going to be a famous artist. It doesn't work like that. There is a lot of basics that you do need. There is a lot of
principles of art,
principles of
theory.
eye. We're talking about like
color wheel type stuff and everything.
Yeah, the color wheel. Yeah, that's good. Brought out the wheel.
Well, your primary colors and things of that
primary
sort.
colors.
Technique,
yeah.
all that kind of good stuff. I want to
This is really interesting podcast material right now.
There you go. No, but I'm just saying, but that is true. But it's funny too when you bring that up about knowing how to gauge your level, because that's one cool thing about art class, and I always tell people in regards to even we used to have the critiques every week. So like every Tuesday you would have a critique, and I really felt like not just from an art standpoint, but that just built my backbone in so many things in life, right? Because literally what happens is when you in high school and stuff, you draw, you maybe have things, you win awards, everybody's accolading you, but you get to college, and what was so cool about that is I remember one of the first critiques, and shout out to Mrs. Dawkins, the professor. You lay all your artwork. For those who don't know, you get all your artwork from the assignment, and you lay it on the ground. And everybody's artwork's laid on the ground, all the same assignment, and she just walks around.
She should be fired because you should never ever put your artwork on the ground. You treat it like holiness.
We're talking about from a sketchbook.
Continue.
But basically,
hopefully she's still alive. Sorry, Miss.
Here you go. You try to off Miss Dawkins. But basically, you walking around, and she is literally chopping it to shreds, right? From a standpoint of,
she better be nice if she's going to chop my work to shreds.
With critiques,
I'm telling you right now.
No, with critiques, it depends on the professor, but you got to look past.
No. If she's nice, she better be able. If she's not nice, she's better.
You talking about nice as a painter, as well?
Yeah. She better be better than me.
I thought you were talking about her
to chop my work up.
Well, but I'm saying, but that's part. Listen, you enroll into school like that. That's part of what happens. So. But
I'll teach a class.
I remember,
you give me your $75,000 just to teach a class.
Yeah, but I remember this scene.
I was better than all of my teachers.
Well, it can't be.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I could have taught.
Well, but see, you're gauging it from maybe a high school art teacher. Maybe that's where they want to stop.
I was better than them too. I was good out the womb, man. Out the womb, dog. I said this once before. I was doing murals in my mama's stomach, bro. That's how nice I was.
But I think that does though. When you have those critiques, when you have that, it's able to kind of build that because because like when you sit it next to somebody, and in the art lab, you know who spent time in the lab.
Well, yeah, and that's why I brought up like people like Charlie Palmer, Fabian Williams,
right.
Whack.
Yeah,
these were my peers growing up. Not growing up, but when I got to Atlanta, I thought I was nasty. I thought I was really, you know what I'm saying? I thought I was like, because everybody was bigging me up from my family and friends.
Yeah.
But the thing was that when you get into the realm of other alpha males, other A1 people, then you see their success, and it has to make you say, okay, why are they successful?
Right.
And if it's because of their work, you know what I mean, your work has to raise up to that higher level. I remember once upon a time when it used to be like that with hip hop. Remember like when hip hop, when it was so competitive. Now it's like you know what I'm saying? You could put like 3 syllables together and you got a hit. You know what I mean? That's not like that's not like how our generation had grew up on. So it was just natural that I was around this amazing group of people in Atlanta, these artists in Atlanta, and that they pushed me.
Right.
And it was like people thought that like it was just me being like a jerk and coming to Atlanta and just like Kanyeing the game, you know what I mean?
Right,
but the
right.
was like I felt like I deserved my spot. I deserved being amongst them. And this is when I started to really get good. When when there was a point in time where it was like, oh, you're CP the artist. I was like, oh, who, it's like, oh, you know me?
Yeah.
Oh.
You seen me before? You seen me before?
I'm light skinned. I started to blush.
Okay. Here you go.
So I was like, I just believe that, when you're, in school as like maybe like say a high schooler or whatever, your goal is to make sure that your peers are strong, that your mentors are strong,
right.
Because the art world ain't easy.
Nah,
it's not easy.
Not at all.
A lot of people don't want art. A lot of people don't appreciate art.
They don't appreciate art or see the need for art.
Yeah, there is always a need.
Yeah.
Right. There's always a need.
Or value it too.
But the value of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I value art. It's like I'm an art collector also.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, I see a young artist that, whoever's work I follow,
right.
like I'll buy
purchase
something.
I'm saying here, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's great you said too, because you're right about the competition and things, because that we knew each week, and that's why I said, like, you knew each week if you had been slacking and you've been hanging out partying on the yard and you hadn't really been in that lab,
right,
and your boy set that piece down next to you and you like,
oh,
man, and there's no denying it, but like you said, you
get it. Yeah.
you knew you were going to get that. But it's funny, I wanted to ask you this, because kind of go back to your family and stuff probably saying, hey, you're such a great artist. Do you remember when or what piece created that? And I say that because a lot of people don't realize, like, the stages of drawing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, when you think about drawing from infant to like 2, everything is a scribble, right? Like, everybody's just scribbling. And then you go from like 3 to 6 is when you first start doing the identify, like people write, like, draw a little stick figure, this is mommy, this is daddy. Everybody could do that, right? But then that third stage is when most people lose it, is when you try to draw something that you say, okay, I'm going to draw the dog or something. And your mom's like, what is this? And then, but I actually drew something,
right,
and I identified it. My parents were like, oh, you keep going. Like, what made you want to keep going early on?
It wasn't one piece. It was like a accumulation of work. But the problem was that.
Okay.
But the problem was that I had quit. I had quit art for, I think it was like 7 years stretch.
Oh wow!
Because I didn't want to be a starving artist, right? And I remember having conversations with my boys. We were drinking or whatever, and they were like, "Yo, it used to be nice back in the day." I was like, "Back in the day, it used to be nice." I know. I'm still nice.
right.
So then, I think it was like 2007, 2005-ish. I started doing T-shirts and jackets and sneakers and painting on that, and I was selling in stores. I was competing with I remember Mesquite, in Jersey. Those shirts, when that was that painted shirt era. Yeah. And I was like, man, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? I was selling T-shirts for like $100. You know what I'm saying? And then it just opened up, like how you gave my little resume earlier. It turned into doing books, like books, book covers. The author was like, "Hey, you're a really good artist. Could you do a book cover?" I was like, "Sure." So then that opened me up to publishing. So then my author, Ian Joy, she had her books in Walmart, and she was a very popular black artist. I mean, black writer, author. And then it opened up more like children's illustrations and digital design. And when I got sick of that, I wanted to be more of a fine artist. And by that time, I started to transition, being around WAC and being around W. and doing arts beats and lyrics.
A lot of big stuff.
And then doing City Ink shows and then having my work being traveled to
different cities.
Different cities and stuff like that. So I was like, ooh, this is nice.
I'm moving and shaking.
Right.
Well, listen, that is a good stuff. We're gonna take a break. When we come back, we're gonna talk more about this staying creative, this things you got going on and whatnot, and just how you do your thing online and just in person. So this is your man Odell. We are here with CP the artist. Gonna take a break. We'll be right back.